Okay. We should be live. Please check YouTube.
It seems to be live now. Alex, I'm sorry we can't see your presentation. Maybe you would like to send me your slides and I'll try to show them and you just tell me when to switch slides.
I think he just has to restart. Move the window, minimize the window, or something like that.
Okay, Alex has just sent me the presentation. Also, I hope I just got an email from him. Yes, that's an ODP file. It looks good. So I will be sharing my screen instead as soon as I manage to download this file. Save temp introduce, and I need a new X2Go client with Prebox Cinerama. Just a moment. We can do this. We can do this. Applications, Office, and OpenOffice, and open file. Okay, this should work. Let's see. I'll share my screen. Okay,
I think
Alex.
Alex dropped out of.
No, he's still typing. Okay. But can you see my presentation screen now? Mihai.
Yeah. We can see
Okay,
it. Right. But
so
okay.
Alex, we are ready to go.
But for Alex, I see connection lost. So I don't
Oh,
know what's going on. Which is why I said that I think that he dropped out. I'm not quite sure whether that's true or not. But he seems to have some technical difficulties.
okay, I just told him to reconnect. And hello, Alex.
Okay, I think we can hear you now.
Alex, speak up, please.
Maybe he can't hear us. But we definitely hear something in the background. And he seems to be gone.
Okay. Anyways, Alex sent me not only his presentation but also his notes to each slide. So if push comes to shove, I can take over for him for the presentation part. Obviously not for answering questions, but for the presentation part at least. So that would be our fallback plan for tonight. If he still can't get his setup running, we will have this talk or this presentation tonight somehow. Okay, there was a short bit of audio from Alex and also a short video from his webcam. So I would hope that his audio and video connection is working, and I would suggest no further experiments. We'll just start with the presentation. Alex, the stage is yours, and you just unmute your microphone, start talking, and let me know when to switch slides.
Hi Stefan, kannst du mich hören? Also irgendwas funktioniert hier nicht.
Yes, we can hear you, Alex. Alex, wir können dich hören. We can hear you.
But he might not be able to hear us. Oh wait.
Okay, guys, so something is not working correct here because apparently you all can hear me, but I can't hear any one of you, and I also don't see any screens. So I see only the people who are participating, but I don't see the screen of them, which is strange because in the testing room everything was working perfectly, but fine. So let's do one thing. Stefan is going to show the presentation and scroll the slides for me. I will talk, and after that, I don't know, you can ask me the questions in the chat if you want. So, okay, let's start. So, Stefan, please put the first slide. The first slide is what is X2Go KDrive? And okay, perfect. So let's start then. Hi guys, my name is Alex Schneider. I'm X2Go developer, and today I'm going to talk about X2Go KDrive. So first we are showing you a little presentation. After that we're talking about this. You can ask me any questions after that if you will have any. And okay, let's go. So first, what is X2Go KDrive? As you may know from the beginning, X2Go was using an X protocol. So it was the first protocol which we chose for the remote desktop, for our remote desktop solution. So basically, X2Go KDrive is just another protocol, and which is currently supported by X2Go. So my idea is that it will be sometime used parallel to NX, and in the future it's going to be a replacement for NX protocol. So Stefan, can you put please the next slide? Okay, perfect. Okay, so why do we need the new protocol for X2Go at all? Or let's say, why NX is not good enough for us? So the biggest problem of NX is actually quite obsolete. So it's based on old Xorg6 system, and as you know, all modern Linux distributions are running on Xorg7. So this is why some toolkits or application they're just not running correctly. So they're not running at all, or they're missing some functionality. They're having some limitation. So if you want to use the modern desktop, like the newest GNOME, newest KDE, and so on, if you want to use the most modern application, you need to have Xorg7. So this is why actually we're developing the new protocol, which is based on Xorg7. Stefan, please, next one. Okay, perfect. So what a difference between NX and X2Go KDrive. So as I already told, the main difference between NX and X2Go KDrive is that NX based on obsolete Xorg6, and X2Go KDrive is built inside of the current Xorg source tree. Another important difference, so if you're thinking about NX protocol, you should think about it like some kind of NX proxy. So basically, in this protocol, the X instructions are transferred between the X servers, the one which is running of X2Go server and another one of X2Go client. So you can think about NX kind of like XNest application. So it's basically doing more or less the same. X2Go KDrive is not optimized for transferring the X instruction. It's optimized for transferring images or frames or screen updates, call it however you want. So if you're thinking about X2Go KDrive, it's actually the standalone X server, and it's more similar to Xfear than to XNest. Stefan, the next slide, please. Okay, so let's talk about benefits of X2Go KDrive. So first of all, it's clear, all modern desktops and applications are working with X2Go KDrive without any issues. So also if you are using really modern application, the performance of X2Go KDrive is much better than with NX. So for sure, if you're using NX a lot and you try to use modern browsers, you may experience some kind of sluggishness, for example, when you're scrolling the web pages or when you're playing full screen videos. So in X2Go KDrive, the things are working much better. So you won't see this kind of problem with the scrollings. The video works better. So basically, the newest toolkits, newest application working there with much better performance. Also, you have software OpenGL out of the box, like the Misa OpenGL, which is working quite good. And if you have the advanced graphic card on your X2Go server, you can also use virtual GL, which is working quite good with X2Go KDrive. We did a lot of tests, and performance is actually quite good. Another big benefit of X2Go KDrive that unlike NX, it doesn't require any X server on the client side. So the client part of the protocol is very simple, and it makes us a possibility to make the clients for X2Go KDrive for any possible platform. It could be mobile platforms, it could be HTML5 client, whatever. So we don't need any X server of the X2Go client side, and kind of the realization of X2Go client is it's very easy. Another thing, because it's kind of optimized for transferring the images of frames, it's also optimized for working with the frame buffer. It means at some point when X11 won't be supported anymore, and we will have only Wayland or whatever another frame buffer protocol, it will be easier for us to do a migration, because actually all the transferring part, coding part is already based on this frame buffer system. So this is actually the most important benefits of the X2Go KDrive. What is about disadvantages? So X2Go KDrive is not always better than NX. So because NX is optimized for transfer of the X instructions, in some cases it's using way less network traffic than X2Go KDrive. So if you using only legacy application, which is like really optimized for X instructions, if you're using the simple desktops like Mate, IceVM, maybe you should consider to use NX, just because it will need way less traffic. So if you have like very slow, very limited internet connection, NX will also work better for you. But basically, if you have like the normal modern internet connection, even if you have like the just connection with your smartphone using LTE, it's actually enough to have like very good performance with X2Go KDrive. Stefan, next slide, please. Okay, great. So if you want to use X2Go KDrive, how you can do this? So first, you need to download and install X2Go server with X2Go KDrive support. You can download it from the X2Go project webpage. So you need to use at the moment Hoyle repository like the nightly builds. And the clients for the moment are only available for Windows, which we just uploaded lately. I think we don't even update it in our X2Go wiki. And for Linux, client for Linux is available from the Hoyle repository as well. So if you want to start the X2Go KDrive session from your X2Go client, it's basically the idea is the same. You open session configurations. You just need to check, select this run in X2Go KDrive checkbox in session configuration, and then you're starting your X2Go session as usual. Next slide, please, Stefan. Okay, so when you're starting this X2Go KDrive session, it's pretty similar to normal NX session. The only difference, instead of NX proxy, you will be starting X2Go KDrive client, which from the user point of view, most or less the same. The only difference, you will see this little floating menu on top of your window edge. You can move this menu wherever you want. It's also disappearing by itself when you're not using this. And with this menu, you have some additional feature. You can have, for example, suspend session or minimize your session window, or you can change the session geometry or like your multi-monitor session settings, for example, to put it on one monitor or another, on all of your monitors, enable or disable Cinerama, and so on. Next slide, please, Stefan. Okay, so What are new features I'm working at the moment, and which features are in the development? So, as you know, X2Go KDrive protocol is under active development. So at the moment, I'm working a lot of the optimization and most about of the optimization of the network transfer. So X2Go KDrive using a lot of different algorithms to optimize to minimize amount of the network data. For example, it has caching, it's recognizing if you already have the frame in the cache, or maybe it's a fragment of the frame in the cache. I mean, it's kind of like not simple, but it works quite good. So I have some more ideas which I'm trying now and realizing, and it looks good. And I think I will be able to reduce the size of the updated regions in the screen and make the performance even better. Another feature which is I'm working now, I'm trying to implement support of UDP protocol for the graphical data. So it's not mandatory, it's optional. So when you're starting the session, you will be able to select support of UDP protocol. And in some cases, for example, if you're using VPN, which like a lot of customers doing this, it can bring you way more performance, because you're kind of like will lose all of this data checks which are not necessarily like especially for the graphical data. So I'm already doing some tests. If you will check, you will see in our Git there is new branch which called the UDP support or something like this, and the tests actually are quite impressive. So as I told, it won't be used, for example, for the connection like over internet or in the LAN, but if you're using VPN, it's can quite improve the performance of X2Go sessions. Another feature which is already working, it's a rootless mode. However, it's not tested yet or not working yet with all kinds of applications. But some of them, for example, like the terminal applications or GIMP or Firefox, are working quite good. And actually, I already have some customers which are using this in productive environment. So basically, they're using it like to have kind of safe web browser, and for this they're using X2Go KDrive and rootless mode with Firefox. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, and apparently for many people very important and very interesting thing is X2Go KDrive HTML5 client. So, as you may know, X2Go KDrive protocol, a part of the native clients for Windows and Linux, now supporting HTML5 client. So the purpose of developing of this HTML5 client is to provide easy X2Go access to users of internet or intranet web pages, or for example, from some kind of cloud software, and to make them to give them possibility to start X2Go session directly from the browser page without forcing them to install X2Go client software on the computer. Can you put the next slide, Stefan? Okay, so here on this slide, you can see example of HTML5 client which is integrated in the Morpheus cloud system. So in this case, X2Go KDrive client is installed as some kind of plugin to Morpheus, and it enables the X2Go connection to the VMs in cloud only by one click. So you can see here, for example, you can see your desktop directly on the tab of virtual machine. And another slide, please. Okay, thank you. And you have possibility to show it in separate browser window or in the tab. So it's quite cool. Basically, you have your normal cloud system. You have there the list of your virtual machine. Basically, you just clicking open X2Go connection and it's working with one click. So this is one of the real life examples of HTML5 client. Can you put next slide, please, Stefan? Okay, so we made some kind of Mike made some kind of installation instructions and put it on our web page. So you can find this instruction of the web page of X2Go org project. In this instruction, you will see how to install the HTML client and how to configure the Nginx web server to serve this client to the clients. So the HTML5 client is basically consists from 3 parts. So first part is HTML front page with for interaction with user. So it's basically the web page where the user can put session parameters like username, password, whatever. And this web page is sending the data further to the server. So as I told, the HTML5 client consists from 3 parts: front page, X2Go KDrive client itself, which is written in JavaScript, and the server-side part, which is taking care of all SSH communications with X2Go server and translation between WebSockets and TCP protocol and so on. So on this slide, you can see how it looks like when you're starting the session in your browser. So this is basically the example of the HTML5 client, which is available from our web page. And can you put the next slide, please? Okay, so here you can see basically this HTML front page I was talking about. So please be aware, this one should be used only for testing purposes. So it could be not safe to use it in real environment in internet, because I don't think if it's some kind of protected against JavaScript injection attacks or whatever. So basically the idea of me providing this web page was not to use it in a productive environment, but rather give you the possibility to test HTML5 client, or you can use it as example if you want to build your own front page, and you want to integrate it, for example, in your intranet or your internet page. So you can basically look in the source code of this web page and see which kind of data and how they transferred further to the X2Go server. So and another limitation which we have at the moment in the HTML5 client, which I should talk about. So at the moment we are supporting only United States keyboard layout. The reason is because just my customers, they didn't use any another kind of the keyboards. So this is why we didn't have a need yet to develop another kind of layouts, but for sure it's possible. So if someone needed, the idea, like always, so they can pay for the development or develop it by themselves and bring it back to the project. Okay, so this is actually it from my side. It's everything what I wanted to tell you about. So if you have any questions, you can put it here in the chat, because unfortunately, I don't know why I can't hear anyone.
Okay, you heard Alex. If you have any questions, please open the chat. That's the 4th button from the left in the menu at the bottom of your screen. and just type away, and Alex will hopefully see it and answer your questions.
Okay, Vadim, tell me. I'm okay. So rootless mode via KDrive, it's kind of still under development. So if you have basically Firefox should work more or less correct because I know the people who are using it and they're kind of quite happy. But did you try it in normal desktop mode? Okay, perfect. So maybe we just need like to, because I'm doing kind of some improvements and I didn't test it now yet with rootless mode, but I'm going to do this next week. So let's try it after if you will have this problem. So if it won't work correctly, you can come directly to me and I will check on it. But basically, Firefox in rootless mode via KDrive should work just fine. I'm not really understand what does he mean about what feature he's talking. I mean,
Well,
basically,
probably.
X2Go KDrive. Yeah, please.
Oh, can you actually hear me now?
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'm just kind of putting my thoughts together. I mean, kind of. NX, for instance, has audio transfer. So, for instance, is that part of the protocol, or is that something that's missing?
Vadim, I can hear you and Mihai can hear you, but I believe Alex still can't hear you. So you need to type.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but I wasn't sure that because he stopped talking after I tried to talk.
No, he stopped talking because I asked in the chat
because
that
you
Vadim
asked.
should
Okay.
please elaborate further.
Yeah. Okay. So, but while Vadim is typing, I can probably answer his answer if I understand what he's trying to ask for. NX.
No, okay. The audio has nothing to do with this graphical protocol, this NX or KDrive. So because for the transmission of audio, we just using Pulse Audio, which is installed on the X2Go client, and this is basically the same. So in this case, using NX or using X2Go KDrive, it doesn't affect audio at all.
Right, and to elaborate more on that, I know that Vadim uses TCP channels internally to transfer some other data like audio, like I think they also do printing support or something like that over those channels, and that is not included in KDrive, not directly. It's not like the server would handle that and would generate, but you can basically wrap it like you could wrap NX stuff, like we do in X2Go client, for instance.
Okay.
So anyone other questions? Okay. Sorry, guys, that it didn't work like it was supposed to. Ah, yes. Yeah, because actually I tested it in the testing room which Stefan provided to me, and it worked very good. I have no idea why it's not work, why it doesn't work in the real environment. This is a good one. Basically, I'm not eating a lot of bread, but actually for the breakfast, sometimes I can have a toast with a peanut butter. So I would say peanut butter is my favorite one. Okay, guys. And oh, cool. Yeah, no problem. As I told, pity that it didn't work out as we wanted it to do, and I can't explain why. But it was also my first presentation via this platform, and I guess the next time we are going to do it better. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening, and have a nice evening. I guess I have just like beginning of the afternoon here, and see you next time. Bye.
Okay, so that was it for Alex's talk and the Q&A session. Mihai, would you like to give a short recap so we have it on video? What is going wrong with the KDrive build at the moment? You sent me a link to a bug tracker or to an issue that you reported with Debian. They somehow broke Xorg Xserver source.
Yeah, I've just been talking to Mike about that. Uh, well, so how do I start? I've seen that some of our builds were failing. I fixed the
Well,
Raspbian
I
build.
could actually share the screen with the bug report if you want.
Yeah, you can do this if you want. Do you have the bug report handy?
Here we go.
Okay. Okay. So we've had failing Raspbian builds which have not been part of. I mean, any reason why they should fail? It was just aptitude not working correctly and probably crashing. So I switched to apt-get, and then I've seen that for the KDrive server we've had a build failure for Debian Buster, which is old stable by now. And I looked into this and figured out that, well, the original source code as provided by Debian in the xorg dash server dash source package, binary package, is broken in the sense that the Debian patches are not getting applied to this server source, so it completely fails to build from source. Then, I mean, I've been debugging that, and then I've made a bug report, as you can clearly see. Now, have gotten some responses now from another person who pointed out that there was already a bug report about that, and that it was fixed past Buster, which doesn't really help us with Buster. And what I didn't know was that the original reporter of this issue has been Mike. And he also fixed the issue by uploading a second binary package or rebuild package to our X2Go repository with a higher version number. So instead of dep10u3, he uploaded a dep10u3.1 version into the X2Go repository. So we had a fixed version, but then dep10u6 came around from the Debian security team in Buster as part of LTS, and that broke again because the Debian builds still have the very same issue. And this is what I've been because I didn't know that. Right.
Let me guess, you
Okay.
just noticed that there was an update to the bug report?
No. The update was I sent the update, right? Or was there another one?
Look at the shared screen.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. No, wait. Huh? Wait. I'm looking at the shared screen. Yeah, no. This is old. So this is what the maintainer actually told me, right? That's fine. But he looked at the wrong builder. He actually looked at the AMD 64 builder, which builds the Arch dependent part of the Debian package, while he should have been looking at the Arch independent builder, or at the builder that builds the Arch independent part of the package. You should be able to see that
I saw
in a
the
while.
force merge command in there, so there's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
another bug that I should put on screen.
Right. And if you refresh now, you will see my answer to that. So the force merge command was from Holger, I think, who also responded to this bug report. No, Sven Joachim. And he force merged it with the other bug report that has been written by Mike. So the issue is that Mike fixed the issue for us, for X2Go, by uploading a special package into our X2Go repository, which has overridden the broken Debian package, but the issue was never fixed in Debian, at least not for Buster, but only for Bullseye, or for a working for a work in progress version of Bullseye, because Bullseye has not been released at that point in time, I guess. Right. And now that Buster got an update via the LTS project, the version number is greater than what we have in the repository, in our repository, and the builds are failing again. So, well, I will either have to fix the new release and put it into the external repository as well, or persuade Debian into fixing it. Because Mike was under the impression that Debian has already fixed the issue, but they haven't done so, at least not for Buster. It's a bit of a convoluted mess.
I noticed that the priority has been upgraded to serious, though.
Yeah, that has happened because of the force merge command. Because the original bug that Mike wrote, and which is still open, has the serious tag attached, or the serious severity label attached to it. Right.
I see.
But
So,
but that doesn't actually. I mean, that doesn't actually mean anything because Buster is old stable, and well, they will probably never fix it because why should they? Although the fix should be relatively easy, and you can also see that the bug should now have a patch tag because I think that Mike has actually given it a patch too. At least in the other one.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's in the other one.
Yeah.
It was patched on June 14th, 2021.
Yeah. Well, this is a patch he submitted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now back to our bug.
So I will have to take a look at.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's indeed due to the force merge, yeah.
Yeah.
Marked as found, edit text, patch,
Yeah.
merge, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's been the problem, but only for Buster. Everything else seems to be working fine. I've also fixed the problem in the KDrive client package, but that was pretty much a no-brainer. It just didn't compile on Qt versions less than 5.9, which I think only affected Stretch. But that fix was really easy. So basically, well, once I fix that, however I fix that, or whether Debian fix, I mean, I just want to um, keep monitoring it and see whether either Debian will fix it or whether we have to fix it via the X2Go repository again. Then it would be pretty much release ready. But I'd still like to fix the Jenkins thing that I'm still running into right now, because yesterday I thought that I fixed the issue once and for all, but it only made it worse. And for
Dear.
that, it's only an
Is it
issue
that,
for.
Miha, is it already a total hours wasted plus situation?
Yeah, kind of. Well, it's only affecting PowerPC builds anyway. So
Okay.
the normal AMD 64 or 8 X8886 builds are not affected by that. But the PowerPC builds actually require Arch independent packages from the other builders. Because I'm not building it twice. Why should I? It's the same. It's the same data. But we now have diverging version numbers, and Yuri's idea was great, but it turns out that it doesn't work because we have multiple build jobs for each architecture and each distribution version combination, and the build numbers differ, and thus the version will differ, and thus the binary packages will not be able to, or the Arch-dependent binary packages will not be able to depend on the correct Arch-independent binary package version, and that's an issue that I still have to fix. The only way I could fix that in a way that would actually work is by changing all builds within Jenkins to a scheme that Mike also employs for Arctica packages, for instance, to use well, basically one build job per, well, I don't know, package system, and then multiple configurations for each operating system version, and probably also architecture. That would fix the build ID or build number issue to always be, the same ID, so that would work. But I think that this would make building stuff rather unflexible, because I couldn't just trigger individual builds whenever I need them. I could only trigger the whole build to run, and the individual configurations are not triggerable, I guess. But if it's the only way that I can fix it, I will probably go for that and just rework the whole Jenkins build infrastructure we have there.
I'm assuming that you will be there for the Orca meeting tomorrow?
If everything works out, I guess, yeah.
because obviously Yuri will have to be there as well. So maybe you two could start a short brainstorming session, possibly in German or in English, depending on who wants to watch after we're through with Orca.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've done this with Yuri yesterday, and I thought that Yuri's idea would be fine, but turns out that it isn't. And this is one of the reasons. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that yeah.
yeah, but like you had this idea together, and
Yeah.
so now you realized that it's not working the way you expected, but Yuri doesn't know it. Maybe if you tell Yuri that it doesn't work, he'll come up with another idea or discuss one with you, or maybe push you in a direction that you get an idea how it could work. So just you two guys banging your heads together might help here.
Maybe.
So maybe keep that in mind that you just grab Yuri after tomorrow's Orca meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to continue, please go on.
I just wanted to take a look at our schedule for today. So are you done explaining, or is there anything else you would like to
I think
explain?
so, yeah.
Since Alex had to go, we'll probably not be discussing feature request bounties today. Unless you have a few ideas and can already attach a price tag to it, then we could list that in the Better Place donation drive.
Yeah, well, I probably should be doing that, but I haven't written it down yet.
Okay. So right now, the two are the is the Jenkins build issue and the X server source issue. Are those the only two issues keeping us from releasing KDrive, or is there even more
No,
that you can
I mean
see right now?
that's really the only thing that keeps me from doing that. I will need to add Jenkins builds for the release version because we don't have that yet. But that's like that's okay. That's fine. Oh, is Wyme not working again?
Oh dear.
I can't connect to codex2go.org. I mean,
Okay.
via the web browser.
In that case, Mike has suggested I ping him via Telegram, so I'll try that. Maybe we're in luck and he'll respond.
Oh, there's nothing he could do about it other than maybe restart the machine. But I mean, probably won't do any good. At least not for
Judging
long.
from his last explanation, there is a virtual machine running on Vimeo that is a resource hog, and he has to terminate this virtual machine. He doesn't have to reboot Vimeo, but he has to terminate and restart this virtual machine.
I've never. Okay.
At least that's how I understood what he said. So I'll just ping him as you asked, and we'll see what happens.
I'll have to check if. Well, I've also done some changes. For what I thought could cause a problem. Because I've seen that. Well, I was always aware of that, but I thought that maybe it's not a problem at all. So we have the whole source code.
Mike is responding. He let out an expletive and he said he is going to look out.
Okay. So yeah, I know. We've been chugging on him for the past half an hour or so. Yeah. But at least I did, and then you did, and everything is in a bit of a third state. Now, I thought that what I did could have fixed the issue because, well, as you know, we have this Git web instance running on code.x2go.org, right? Where you can see all repositories and browse them and do things. Now, GitWeb has features that can be quite resource intensive if they are being used. For instance, a full grep-like search within the repository a pickaxe search, which searches through the commit. I mean, actually searches through the commit messages or something like that, or commit data. I don't know.
Mike
And
just said he simply triggered a reboot of Vimeo because that's the fastest way to get it up and running again.
yeah, probably. And also snapshot feature, so that you can download a tarball of the thing you're looking at, no matter what revision you're actually looking at, from any point in the interface. And all three things are very nice to have, but they can be very resource intensive. And I've noticed that sometimes bots actually access these features, even though they wouldn't need to, like Googlebot, like Yahoo bot, whatever, you know. And so they access because they have indexed it somehow, and they are generating a lot of, for instance, tarballs or grep searches or something like that, which can lead to a very big performance issue very, very quickly. Okay, mails are coming in again, so I guess it's a machine rebooted already. Let me take a look at that. Yeah. Can't log in, but at least, I've seen an email coming in, so probably, I mean, it's doing something at least. Okay.
Interesting. Mike just mentioned that some people seem to poll the wiki start page via cron job probably every few minutes.
Yeah, but that's not a real issue, is it? I mean, wiki is like wiki. We don't care about wiki.
I'm not sure if he's talking about the wiki. He said a start page. Maybe he's referring to the Codex2Go start page.
Maybe. But even then, I mean, that could be a bot, and they're allowed to do that. I mean, that shouldn't actually cause a lot of performance issues.
I wonder if that could be fixed with something like fail to ban. You just don't trigger on a fail, but on a repeated connect, and then redirect them to some page saying, hey, excessive access detected, you will have to wait for 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, that's a very bad idea, because how would you browse a website if you're not doing any requests?
No, if it's the same request, the same page over and over again.
Yeah, that is difficult to actually. I guess that's very difficult to implement in fail to ban. Okay, I will also have to reply to that.
Okay, you remember that bug report that Yui pointed out yesterday with Windows 10 on the client side and CentOS 7 on the server side? I have the setup running so far, and I've tested X2Go client for Windows stable, nightly, and the KDrive patched version. And all of them managed to crash the VCX SRV with that particular combination of programs running. Then I talked to Uli. Uli suggested trying Mobux term, which I haven't done yet, but I will also try this. The other idea he had was that we should use a newer version of VCX SRV.
Yeah.
Because the one we are shipping, even in the KDrive version, is like really old.
Well, it's not that old, but it's probably
So
like
I
yeah.
so I tried to do that and
Mhm.
told the new version to install into the VCX SRV directory of the KDrive patched
Mm.
version,
Oh, I think
and
that won't work.
that just broke everything.
Yeah,
And
I guess it won't work.
with that approach, what happened was that X2Go client on startup complained that it couldn't start the X server after 4 tries.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I update VCXserve, I know that I have to modify the package slightly for it to work. But I think that's only, I mean, it's like, or no, that
So
should actually work. And
I could probably install VCX SRV
yeah,
standalone in a different directory
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
point X2Go client to this external X
yeah.
server. But
Uh,
obviously, that would not be a one-to-one reproduction of the issue.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely not, but you have already reproduced it, basically. Well, but what you should be able to do is to install it normally and then just copy the whole directory into X2Go client to VCXserve, X2Go client's VCXserve directory. That should work because what we do,
Why is that
I'm,
different from installing into that directory?
I'm not sure. The only
Okay.
things that I know for sure is that I usually do it like that. I install it locally and then copy
Mm-hmm.
everything over and then delete stuff that we don't need with the Next2Go client. Because um it well maybe you're seeing a different problem. Maybe the new version of VCXserve requires a newer Visual C runtime version than you have installed. So maybe it's also
That,
not working if you're not spawning it via X2Go client. I don't know.
well, that's something I can try really easily.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll just start up the VM and check.
Although normally people ship the required two libraries directly with their binary, so that you don't have to install the redistribution packages.
Okay. So there's an X launch button on my desktop.
Mm-hmm.
And when I click that, I get an all-glass cursor and select display settings. Choose how VCX SRV displays programs. Multiple windows, one large window, full screen, or one window without title bar.
Okay, so that seems to be a launcher, right? That's
Yep.
not spawning the actual thing yet. But if you
So
select,
multiple windows, because we're running in headless mode later on.
yeah, rootless mode, yeah.
Ah, yeah, rootless mode. So start no client, start a program. Yeah, start no client. That sounds like what I'm looking for. Clipboard, native, blah, 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 yeah. Configuration complete. Save configuration for later use. Config, yeah, blah. And okay, this server is running.
Okay. So it's something
So
else then.
since this is already running, what happens when I start X2Go client? Will it detect the
Uh,
running server and connect to it?
no. It can't do that. X2Go client always wants to start its own server. Now, it
Yeah,
will
but it
detect
can't
it.
start it. So maybe
Well,
it will
why?
not notice that it's not the one it started, but it's an already running one.
No. Why would it do that? Um, if I mean, X2Go client will try to start an own. I mean, you can have multiple X servers running at the same time, so that's not a problem. And X2Go client always starts its own instance of VCXserve. So if you already have one running, then it will just start another one on a different port. So essentially on X display 1, give or take. Or 2, or whatever. I mean, if you remember that we actually tested this for our customers back then and fixed the startup stuff because that was broken with the race condition.
Okay, too bad this doesn't work. So, oh, and X2Go client is stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to connect. I got the pop-up message that it can't start the X server, and then everything is just locking up. I can't terminate it.
It's frozen up probably. Okay. I mean, the only thing that I still have in mind is starting it in debug mode and checking or starting the debug version of it, because you will need the debug version on Windows for that.
The version Alex provided automatically installs the debug version, so running it in debug mode should not be much of an issue. I just need to find the X2Go client and kill it. X2Go client.
Can't you just kill it with the mouse? I mean, if you press X repeatedly.
No, it just won't.
Okay.
That's the annoying part. It's like completely frozen and locked up and won't respond to anything. Like I can minimize it, or anything I do on the window itself will minimize it to the taskbar sys-tray icon. And the right click on the sys-tray icon is completely grayed out. So anyway, let's try configuration. No, I don't pulse. Okay. Let's say we want to use an external X server. And this is located in this directory. Okay, there's some issue that just won't start the external X server. What if I kill this one? Blah. Okay. Everything grayed out here, and the X just minimizes back to the taskbar. Kurva!
Perkelen. Or Perkel? Pekelen?
Kill. Okay, now to the Windows command line. CD program files x86, CD X2Go client, KDrive preview, X2Go client. Oh, interesting. So X2Go client debug exe. How do I log both standard error and standard out into one file on Windows?
Just as on Linux, I think.
You sure?
Yeah.
So, no. No, Windows doesn't have T.
T? No. Why would you use
usually
T?
I would use redirect standard error to
Yeah,
standard out and then pipe
yeah,
everything into T, and
yeah.
that's obviously not working on Windows.
No, but you can just write it out to a file.
And in that case, I redirect the output
Both.
into the file and then standard
Right.
error into standard out.
Yes, because the command line is passed right to left.
Okay. DMP. HTML5 debug
The only thing
txt.
that differs on Windows is that you can't use /def/null, obviously. So you'd have to use a
NUL.
literal NUL. Right?
Okay, let's see what happens here. Also, some newer versions of X2Go client refuse to start Pulse Audio on Windows. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably because Pulse Audio is not working on Windows any longer. We've also been using a pretty old version by now.
Okay, this is getting really weird. Because what's happening now is that now it did start an X server. I don't know which one, but it did start one. And now it's crashing because it starts the program causing the crash.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very weird. Okay, so we have one log file and oh, I can't scroll up. Why can't I scroll up? Ah, it's copying over. What the fuck? Windows, always a source of joy.
Yeah. But Linux is already working on it.
So, X2Go debug. Oh, this doesn't really look like. Oh no. Mihai, do I have to pass the debug parameter even though I'm already starting the debug action?
Yes.
The pain. Okay, let's do it. What the? Debug. And this one. Let's do this. And see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to change. I can't start pause on it. I'm going to change this back to the xterm or console command. So I can get a shell and run the command there. And so it doesn't send me right into the crash. Okay, so there's a session already running. We'll terminate that and start a new one. Just so we have a clean slate. Okay, this Okay, I have a console window. I'm moving it to the upper left part of the screen. I'm shrinking it as far as possible because my gut feeling is that it has to do with X damage, but I may be wrong. So cd git test and git k.
Well, in that case, you
Boom.
could disable X damage.
And boom!
Well,
Just died in my arms tonight. Okay, let's terminate this session. X2Go client debug exe has stopped running.
Which is not very surprising.
Well, it looked like it could terminate normally,
Mm-hmm.
and it lost connection to the X server, but why would that send X2Go client itself into the abyss?
Well, because because it lost its X server, and yeah, something probably doesn't. I mean,
yeah, but in that case, it should just say I can't continue the session anymore. Not like go completely
yeah,
belly up.
usually.
Okay, so we have a log file. Let's see. Should I send it to you via email or should I share the screen or?
I don't know. Can I actually see what you? Better send it via email, I guess.
Okay, doke. So I just need to get this out of here somehow. Let's see if the clipboard is large enough. Connecting to channel went wrong. Is that really the last line? That really is the last line. Nice. Okay. I would have expected it to cut off somewhere in the middle, but it did indeed copy the whole log file. You've got mail. You know, back in the days, there was a sound file that would let you replace the AOL sounds, like this "You've Got Mail," and then a almost Britney Spears like Valley Girl sounding female voice came up and said, "Another email? Oh my gosh, I'm so popular." Okay, Robux. Let's see.
Translator? X2Go Client DE found, kann Übersetzer nicht laden, nicht fatal. QT DE. Versuche eine Sprache niedrigerer Präferenz zu laden, falls vorhanden. English language requested, not loading translator. Wow, what? Why? You obviously don't use it in English, so okay, well, whatever. Post-order version returned 7.1. Starting hyper service for Windows. Thick drive. Oh, okay. Pull started with arguments. So you say that Pulse Audio is not actually working at all, right?
Yeah, I'm just downloading Mobux term at the moment. Just give me a sec. Okay, that seems to have worked. So I could basically share my VM screen here. Clip, plop, Actually, I could move it over to the other screen and share it from there. Hold on. Screen flip.
Pulse Audio is finished with Xcode 1. I don't know why. You'd have to look in the pulse.log file to find it out.
There you are. And let's start X2Go client. And just about aiming. Here we go.
And okay, it's dead. Okay, pulse audio couldn't be started. Yeah, we'd have to actually probably look into this and probably also update pulse audio, which requires rebuilding it.
Well, wait. The funny thing is that it only happens with a newer version. So this is the KDrive build. And wait, I need to close that. Just minimized it. I have multiple builds installed on this machine in different directories. And I believe if I run the stable one, Pulse Audio will work. Let's see.
That would be weird because we haven't changed Pulse Audio in a
Let's
while.
See. Yeah, see? No error message. So we have Pulse Audio support. Did you change the moment when Pulse Audio is actually started?
No.
Because I think we did change that sometime in the past, but
yeah, but not. I mean, not versus not stable versus unstable, not stable versus nightlies. Let me see. Okay, so it's starting everything up, and then it's calling. Well, X2Go run command.
So this is version 4.1.2.2. And it doesn't complain about Pulse Audio being unable.
And 4.1.2.3 does complain about it.
1.2.3, I'm not sure. Let's just check.
Nightly.
This is 1.2. This is the nightly build.
Yeah. And that also doesn't complain. So probably only.
Wait. There was one short pop-up and it immediately disappeared again.
Yeah.
I did not see what that was.
Yeah, because you clicked somewhere.
No, I
mean, maybe.
I mean, I can close it and start it again. That's not a problem. There we go. And this appears and disappears immediately again.
Oh, this is very weird. Okay.
I can hear a sound as well. I don't know if you could hear it.
No.
There was just this short pling that a window had opened.
I can take a look at it very quickly, but
I just wonder what's causing this. Like the old version doesn't complain at all. The nightly version pops up something that disappears immediately. And I wonder what happens if I resize the window. And move this window out of the way as well. Now this is too fast for me to see, but
no. We've had an update in the nightlies. I've upgraded Pulse Audio from version 7.1 to 13.0. In the
okay.
no, wait, that wasn't in the nightlies. That is in the release version. So the nightly that Alex gave you still uses 7.1.
This is not Alex nightly. This is our regular nightly.
I know, but the nightly that Alex gave you, I mean, the debug log
We
is
can
from
try it.
Alex nightly, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that uses 7.1. So Alex hasn't updated Pulse Audio in his distribution of X2Go client.
Okay.
He probably hasn't updated other stuff as well, which explains that issue. So maybe only newer versions of Pulse Audio work, because there was probably a reason why I updated it. Because I do remember having had problems with 7.1.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one idea, since this version is already a hacked version, like I overwrote the VCX SRV directory and everything, what happens if I take the stable or nightly pulse directory and copy that over? And which one should I use?
It shouldn't make a difference because I haven't been updating. I mean, for the Pulse Audio binaries are the same for stable and nightly right now, and there haven't been any changes to the code as well, as far as I remember. Which makes it even weirder that the nightly would show a pop-up indicating that
Okay,
maybe Pulse Audio failed to start.
okay, so
Maybe
I just grabbed the pulse directory from the
Mhm.
nightly version and copied it into Alex directory. And now let's see what happens. This looks good. No complaints so far.
Yeah, but that isn't your actual problem. I mean, Pulse Audio was only a side issue
Yeah.
that you brought up. Okay, but regarding the VCX crash, I don't know.
Mobugs term for the rescue.
Yeah, maybe. Socket error, no error. Okay, that explains a lot. Terminate session post cleanup. Reverse to nerve. X2Go run command. But so you've just started a terminal, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And the terminal is
Indeed.
crashing VCX
No,
serve.
I start the X term, and in the X term I type cd dot / git test, which is a Git repository on that machine, and inside that directory I have to type git k, and that causes the crash. I can see git k popping up, and parts of the Xterm window suddenly appear inside the git k window, and that's when it crashes. And that's why I thought maybe it has to do with X damage, because somehow these contents of the windows get mangled.
Maybe. I mean, that could be everything essentially.
On the other hand, it also happens if I use a start script where I have these commands chained. So there's no X term involved and it still crashes.
Yeah. No. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah.
And the next weird thing is if I just run git k in my home directory, which isn't a Git repository, then on git k will show an error pop up.
Yeah.
And I can click OK, and it closes a pop up, and everything is fine.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So the bug tracker is actually hugging a lot of, doing a lot of I/O on Ymir. It's still very, very slow, but at least it's halfway working. It's been running for 35 minutes, and I can see the um, uh, bug tracker going crazy. All CPU cores are maxed out. Most of the bug tracker thingies are in D state. Well, also others, because the RAM is more than full and swap is half full. So,
That sounds nasty.
but now everything dropped back to pretty much not. Well, he only gave his EVM 2 gigabytes of RAM. What do you expect? And everything is back to normal now. So maybe it's a bug tracker which creates all the problems? Spamd child?
I want to check the download directory. Extract all. Okay, that's one thing to try. That's not what I want to do. So, interesting. Mihai, when I press the defaults button in X2Go client on the configuration Xorg server configuration tab, it sets the user-defined X server to C program files vcxsrv, vcxsrv.exe. Are you aware of that? I think that's rather unusual.
That's probably a bug, yeah.
I mean,
Or well, maybe that's a default, right? I mean,
yeah. The thing is, we've always there have been times where we received bug reports and complaints on the user mailing list that misconfiguring this parameter causes X2Go client to crash on startup. Do you remember that? So
and changing
my
that
idea,
isn't easy. Because
my idea would be to have this point at our VCX SRV that we ship. So that way there's always one to fall back to.
Okay.
Maybe we could, I don't know, should I file this as a wish list or feature request bug? like if you can't find
Yeah.
the specified X server,
Yeah.
then pop up a warning message, hey, couldn't find this, blah, 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 and instead use ours. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to install the separate version of VCX SRV into that path, and let's see what happens. Okay, this one says. And the parameter to tell it not to use X damage would be dash no X damage, I guess, or plus X damage or damage or. How do I disable X damage on the command line?
For next.
No, for the X server.
Oh, I think it's
Because
minus X damage.
Okay. Here goes nothing. Session started. Oh wait, that's. Oh, that took a while. Okay, so what happens here if I do this? Okay, so minus X damage doesn't help.
Work.
Oh no, no, wait, I made a mistake. I did not restart X2Go client.
Even then, there is no. Okay. Well, before you restart, have you restarted already?
No, I needed to kill it first because it's hung up.
Fuck. Again. Okay, so it probably won't start back up.
Why?
Because there is no minus X damage parameter to VCXserv. I think that what you should have used is minus extension space X damage or something like that.
We are not at this moment where X2Go starts the X server, I guess. Because I can edit. I can still reach the configuration page. I can still edit.
Okay.
So minus extension X damage.
I think so, but I'm not sure how the extension is spelled. I mean, is it spelled in all caps or all lowercase?
Okay.
Or?
This. Wait. Did this just cause the crash? No. Pops back up. Okay. Configuration. X server configuration. Extension X damage. Let's just try all caps X damage. We'll see what happens.
Or maybe it's damage. Maybe it's not X damage, maybe it's damage. And maybe it's all caps damage.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's minus extension and then all space and then all caps damage.
Okay. Let's see. Can I start it or is it completely botched now? Configuration X minus extension damage. Close it. Oh, it is trying to start the proper X server now. Okay. So let's
Yeah, but
close
that
this.
probably won't do anything because there's no X damage extension. I mean, not called like that.
Okay, latest stable X2Go client. And X server is set to external and minus extension damage. Then let's go for it again. It's resuming, that's not what I want. So I have to kill this again. And get K. And zap. Okay, can I show? I believe I can show you this because it's locking up in that particular way and it's not closing the windows up on the crash. So let me just share the screen again so you can see what's happening. So this is what happens. And this right here in the back,
is X2Go
this
client.
is the, no, this is the console window. And the content of the console window is shifted into the GitK window. With the entire GitK window content also shifted downward and to the right. And that probably breaks this.
Yeah, it looks as if memory management within VCXF is going really, really wrong. But again, this is with the newest version of VCXF, right?
Yes.
So whatever it is, it's not fixed yet.
Indeed.
And X damage
So,
shouldn't actually cause any of that.
okay.
But you can still try to disable it and see how it works.
This was with X damage disabled.
Oh, are you sure? Have you used the correct?
I mean, is
pattern?
there a command line command that I can run to check if it's disabled? But
No.
I did specify the parameter as you told me.
Okay, so minus extension and then
Damage
space
in
and
all caps.
damage in all caps. Okay. No. I mean, you can probably list extension. I think there is. Except query XDPI info minus query extensions.
So you want me to reconnect and check? I can do that.
Yeah, why not?
Okie doke. By your command. And there we are again. XDPI or DPY?
XDPY.
Yankee or India?
Yankee.
Okie doke. Oh, it says damage.
So it wasn't deactivated.
Well, it should be because that's what I passed on the command line, but maybe it just ignores it.
Maybe. Or maybe the
Or
command
maybe,
line is.
or maybe
wrong.
you're seeing the damage reported by the NX, by the NX
client.
component on the server side and not by the client. Or well, on the Linux server, which is the client. You know what I mean.
Yeah. 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 Right. So yeah, this is what the server provides. So the server provides X damage, and what your client actually can do, that's a different thing.
Okay, I'm going to remove this extension damage from the command line again.
I guess
And
you could try to disable it in NX agent. Oh, what happens if you run this with KDrive? It doesn't crash with KDrive, does it?
I believe I don't have KDrive on this server yet. I can try it, but
Yeah. It's CentOS 7, right?
and also we're in rootless mode, and that's what Alex said is not
Okay.
production ready, or is
Does it
not
does it
working
does
with
it
every application yet.
does it work in full desktop mode?
That's a good question. I probably have. Oh, what do I have on that machine? I just need to log into that machine and see what
Mm.
I have there. User. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is a CentOS machine.
Yeah.
So
CentOS 7.
Yes, and that's why we probably don't have KDrive on it, because it's not released yet, and this is only pulling released packages, not fiber.
Yeah. Okay. If it's not unstable, then you won't be able to use KDrive. But you can test a desktop session.
Yeah,
But
for
I
that
believe
I
that
would
a
need to
desktop
check
session.
which desktops I have installed, and probably since it's CentOS, there's going to be GNOME, which I can't really use without KDrive. Maybe Mate. Okay, Mate is installed, so we should be able to use that. No crash in desktop or windowed mode. The interesting part here is that Git K seems to snap to the window corners, like it goes immediately full screen.
So
And
that's
maybe because
causing
there's
it.
no, yeah, because
There's no
there's
window border. Well,
no border like this where it could snap to.
yeah. Well, rootlets mode has a border usually, but because there's always a root window, you're just not seeing it.
This is interesting. So if I resize it and close it, then it seems to remember its position on the screen and also its size. So when I restart it, it comes up directly in the same. No, not in the same. Oh, it comes up in the same size, but docked to the right of the window I have already opened.
Mm-hmm.
So it snaps to the right of the window.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What happens if I move this window to the very left, to the very right? Where will it go next? Okay, no, this time it doesn't snap. This time it memorizes its position. That's very weird. Anyway, we now have two distinct window positions, and what? What happens if I use multi-tone instead of the? I don't want to shut down. I want to log out. Sim application. Terminal. Yes, the terminal. And now,
Well, that shouldn't make a difference, actually.
Well,
Because
what I'm wondering is if it memorizes its position depending on the other window, maybe.
Mm.
Okay, it did memorize its position, but it still crashes.
Mm.
Look at this. Wait, I'm going to share the screen again.
Mm.
So it just crashed on me,
Mm.
but the K window is exactly in the same spot where it was on a Mate full desktop.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Huh. Now I wonder, I mean, oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So if we were to spawn it not in multi-window mode, what happens?
Wait. For that, I have to start X2Go client again and go to the configuration tab.
Yeah. What is the other mode? Is the other mode just VCXF? Let me take a look.
That's interesting.
Huh?
There used to be a whole list of options, and it's not there.
Where in X2Go client?
Yeah.
No, we never had a list of options.
Wait. Let me just share the screen again. We used to have a version of X2Go client that had multiple command line options here, where you could set the different commands.
Yeah, but that's probably just if you use the integrated server. No,
when I click here.
Okay, so maybe that was something else entirely. I don't know.
No, we did have this once, but it seems like it's gone. Or is this only in debug mode, maybe?
I don't know, for real.
Then let's try that out.
Now, anyway, if you disable multi-window mode,
how would I do this?
By removing the multi-window parameter from it. Then it should. Is it what exactly is it? Is it given? I can't read that. Multi-window and
no tray icon clipboard.
Clipboard. Okay, so it's not actually the root. Okay, you could. Uh, uh, yeah, just try like that. I wonder what. I mean, usually what should happen if we're not also adding minus rootless to it, which
Oh,
maybe we do. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So both correct. Okay.
there's this shift again.
Yeah. But it okay. But it didn't actually start it the way I would have liked it. Because we're probably always starting it with minus rootless, I guess.
And that's what
We're
all
not
these
starting.
other options were for.
Yeah,
You could.
but
Hmm.
okay. How do I start it in normal mode? I mean, without. I mean, not a curation.
And this version doesn't have debug mode. Okay, so let's go to go client, KDrive preview, X2Go client. I'm not creating a log file this time. I just want to see if debug enables this. Oh. Okay, now it started server. Anyway, let's have a look at this. No, still only one line.
Yeah.
But now we have a running X server.
Right, and this is what I wanted to see. So I wanted
So
to
let's go
have.
for it.
So it actually does have a window. It's not even full screen. It's not even maximized. I mean. Okay, but I think that. Okay.
Now we have no window decoration, obviously.
Yeah, but
I'll just quit this. Go over here.
Oh, so it. Yeah.
Now
Okay,
it
so
works.
that works. Yeah. So it's probably a bug within VCXServe in rootless mode. Yeah. Because if you were to, well, I don't know what happens if you actually don't use. What is the difference between multi-window versus rootless mode VCXServe?
That's probably somewhere in the manual.
Indeed, multi-window mode is basically rootless, allowing you to pop open as many windows as you wish. So I can only think of the above. Yeah, but it looks like multi-window mode triggers static color visual in both X2Go, X server, and the external VX server. Okay, yeah. X2Go dev. In multi-window mode, add remote host names to window titles. Huh.
Okay, one more. Configuration.
Okay, there we go. So this is for Xming.
So wait, there's this checkbox. This was it. Look.
Okay.
If I tell it that I do not want to start the X server, but I wanted to use the existing.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, so.
But wait, but why would it show you all of this in order for you to start it manually?
Yeah, indeed, that makes no sense. So probably there's a translation error in there. Can you go into the translation file and check what the original English message for X server of X2Go client starting is?
Yeah, I can. Well, I don't think that it's a translation error. I think it's a logic error. Res I can add X2Go client DETS auf X2Go client starten. Start X server on X2Go client start.
Ah, okay. So,
Right, I
so it is
see.
a translation error at least.
It is a translation error. Okay, so that makes sense. So basically, right, okay. So basically, if this is disabled, it starts the X server before starting a session. And
Mm-hmm.
depending on how you set, I mean, what session type you start, it starts it with different parameters, or can start it with different parameters. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Okay, who has written this translation? Mike Gabriel. Okay.
Do we have to send him another plunger of blame?
Nah, not really. Okay, so for Xming, we have the one window mode. This is the default mode. The X server appears as a single Microsoft Windows window, and all X windows are contained within that window. This mode requires an external Windows window manager. Typically, this would be used for XDMCP login to a remote machine using DM. XDisplay Manager, e.g. KDE GNOME or just XDM instead of a local window manager running on Microsoft Windows. Then there's, I mean, this is all for Xmink and not for VCXServe, but given that they both use the same stuff, or that VCXServe was fork of Xmink at some point in time, I don't remember. No decoration. This mode is like it's like one window mode, except that the X server window does not have a title bar border, thus maximizing the amount of space available for X windows within the X server window. This mode requires an external window manager. Then we have the full screen mode, which we are not really interested in right now. It's like the one window mode. The rootless mode. The X server works on a window covering the whole screen, but the root window is hidden from view. This mode requires an external window manager. And the multi-window mode then, in this mode, Xmink uses its own integrated window manager in order to handle the top-level X windows in such a way that they appear as normal Microsoft Windows windows. This is the recommended option to use. Okay, so if we were to use the rootless mode, um, then we'd have an issue because nothing would decorate the windows. So, I mean, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you
Yeah,
understand what I
we would
mean?
need. Yeah, we would need a, well, not necessarily a window manager, but something that draws the window decorations probably on the Linux side.
Yeah. And, well, not just Windows decorations, but also handles movement and everything else. Because if you were to, I mean, if you enable starting VC server or the X server on X2Go client start, and then add minus rootless to the parameters, and then start a rootless um, session, you'll see that um, the extra will probably be snugged up to the lower left corner of your window of your machine. And if you were then to start git k, well, that probably could work because there would be no window manager listening to git k's um, resize requests or move requests. But not that it would be practical, but it would probably work.
Just an idea. If what would happen if I run strace git k? Would this provide any useful output?
I don't know. I mean, you'd, yep, you'd, S-trace, probably not. Well, maybe if we can but strace is not actually giving us no, because the communication is going through the Unix socket with the X server via libxcb or libx11 or something like that. So that wouldn't really be helpful. You wouldn't
So
see.
you would not. Okay,
Nah.
so we would not see what Git K is doing at a particular moment when it crashes.
Well,
Because
Git K itself
I
is not
have
crashing.
is the idea I have is to run strace Git K in
Yeah.
a terminal window in
Yeah.
the same X2Go session.
Yeah.
So once the X server crashes,
Yeah.
we get a freeze frame of the strace output at that very moment.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, yeah, you can do this, but I don't see how it would be helpful.
Okay. I was hoping that we would see in the strace output what Git K is doing at that very moment.
You'll see something, but remember that strace is not actually giving you. I mean, it's not a debugger, right? So you won't see what function it's executing. Only system calls. Which is why I believe that it wouldn't be really helpful. But go ahead and test rootless mode. Yeah, test the rootless mode with it.
So I should replace multi-window with rootless?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And wait, what did I set this for? What did I set this for? This was for single application. Yeah, that's what we're running. We're running single application, multi-terminal. No. I'm not sure if I would have had to restart the X2Go client for this. We'll just see what happens, okay?
Well, given that it has window decorations, I guess that what happens is that it will just crash again.
I don't have illustrated. Oh, well, that's something you can fix. Okay, let's try instant. And I should probably move this out of the way. Bam. Okay, anything useful in there?
I can't see anything. I mean, it's polling on some FD. So the writing, is it? Yeah, it's writing something. Net VM state maximized. Net VM state maximized? That's weird. But yeah, so we can actually see how it's communicating with the X server, but why is it saying net VM maximized? It shouldn't get maximized, really. I mean,
So maybe that's the problem, is trying to maximize and something breaks?
I don't know. Possibly.
Anyways. CentOS. terminate
Usually
session.
Git cache shouldn't maximize anyway.
Yes, it should not, but the log file seems to indicate that it attempts to, at the very least. And that's what I saw happening when I ran it in desktop mode, remember?
Okay.
I saw it snap to all four corners of the desktop.
Okay.
And only when I manually unmaximized it, it would remember its position and size at the next start.
Yeah, okay,
So maybe this thing always tries to snap to the window corners or to the desktop corners for a fraction of a second before it returns to its saved or stored size.
Well,
Okay, so I stopped it. Oh, no, I did not. Wait, there's still something running here. Let's stop this. Now we're clear. And debug exe --debug. Now we should be. Let's see. Okay, there's the X server starting. And here it attempts to resume where it was. Quit. And let's do this again. No crash.
But also no way to move windows around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, because yeah.
In
Okay,
theory, I could probably start, say, ice.
So I can see that it's doing net VM state above, net VM state maximized, then again net VM state maximized, but it's cut off, and then net VM state full screen. But at some point in time, that doesn't make sense because it's not starting in full screen for me. This is a normal. This is on a normal machine. It's not actually doing.
What could we try? Okay, so let's try this. ICANN has window decorations.
Oh, by starting
IceVM.
IceVM. Yeah.
And now, wahahaha. Git case starts and turns into one tiny little speck in the upper left corner, which I can then manually resize.
Yeah. Oh. Did it crash or did it close?
No, I closed it.
Okay.
And I just restarted and it does not remember its size, or at least it cannot return to its stored configuration.
Well, that's probably because you have started IceVM after starting everything else, so that it doesn't have a proper connect. I don't know.
So what happens if I start, say, xterm? Interesting. There we are. Yeah, snap to the upper left corner again. And Okay, so whatever application we start, it always gets positioned in the upper left corner and minimized to maybe a square centimeter or so in size.
1 pixel, something like that. Or to 0 pixels, actually. I don't know. But yeah, okay. That's with ICVM. Yeah. Okay, so, but
Okay,
we
so
know that,
some interesting
yeah.
results here.
But we know that it's a bug in VCXF and there's nothing we could do about it. Other than forward it and hope that it's getting fixed.
Well, there's one more thing that we could try probably, and that is, well, on the one hand, Mobux term, but
Oh yeah, right.
what I'm thinking of is we'll start VCX SRV
Mhm.
in multi-window mode. Start no client, no additional parameters, and start.
Oh,
So
oh,
now,
do you want to start ICVM on top of the multi-window mode?
no,
Uh-huh.
what we have here now is a running X server. Oh wait, that one is running too. That's probably not a good idea. So let's just stop both of them and make sure we only have one of them running.
But again,
Yes,
X2Go client will not connect to the running X server.
I do not want to connect with X2Go client.
Mhm.
I want to connect via SSH with X forwarding enabled. So now we
In
have.
multi-window mode. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So now I have this running. Now I need to go to the Mobux term executable, and I believe there's an SSH client built in there.
But
Session
uh,
SSH.
but that won't work for VCX serve
Why?
because it's starting its MOBA X serve, MOBA X term.
No.
server.
Um,
Yeah.
I can enable X11 forwarding
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
but when I do not start the X server manually, I would hope that it doesn't fire up automatically.
I think that it does, but try that
So we'll
out.
see. We'll see. Okay, this is the host. This is the specify username. User1. Let's see what happens. Accept.
Yeah, and it started the X server, right?
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, I can stop it.
Yeah, but if you stop it, X forwarding will not work any longer.
I'm not too sure about it because if now stop this one as well, start this one as well. No, wait. I need to trick it into
Yeah.
using the other one.
Yeah.
So I'll start Mobux term.
Yeah, and then we see Xserve. Okay.
Session start. No. No. Okay, this is my session. Now I want to start the X server. Now I want to stop the X server. I said I want to. Okay, now it says it's stopped. Okay.
It's stopped?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Multi-window, blah, blah,
Multi-window.
blah. Export.
Well, yeah. So okay. This is what you're trying to do. Okay. Yeah, just grab for display.
Yes, we have a display variable set.
Yeah, but
So if I
to
start,
what?
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but to what? Oh, to localhost 10.0.
Yeah.
Right. So VCXF is running on O. So you could. No, don't kill it. No, don't kill it. Don't.
No,
Don't.
I don't intend to kill it. Tell me what you want me to do.
Well, you can. Can you start an exterm? Well, either say display localhost colon 0.0 maybe.
But that would be
Extern.
the
No,
no,
it wouldn't be.
zero would
No.
be the CentOS machine, the local display.
No, it wouldn't be. What would it? Yeah, right.
I would
Okay.
probably need to use
Yeah,
Putty or some other tool
yeah,
instead of
probably. Yeah.
Mobux.
Yeah. Well,
So
no, you
let's
can
kill
leave
this.
mobile. Why did you kill it? You could have.
We do have. Don't we have a Putty client
Yeah, we have a.
executable? Mm,
I don't think that we ship putty with X2Go client, or do we? No, I don't think that we ship.
P-Link.
Ye-
That's the command line version, and that. Oh,
Yeah, but the command line version won't work for X forwarding, will it?
we'll see. We'll see.
And I don't know what params to give it to use X11 forwarding.
Well,
Forward,
capital X.
yeah, capital X.
P-Link is similar to SSH in Linux. So the
Mm,
syntax is pretty much the same. P-Link X user 1.168.0.195. Yes. And we have an X term.
mm-hmm.
And
With
inside this
BCXF.
X term,
Yeah.
I'll go into my git test and start git k.
Mm. CD. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it works.
That works. Okay.
So it's not exactly a problem with VCXserve. It's a problem with VCXserve not playing nice with NXLibs.
Probably. Mm-hmm. Well, that makes things a lot more complicated. Okay, so okay, so that worked.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say that's it for today regarding the Windows issues.
Don't you want to try mobile exterm with X2Go client?
Well, that would have. What would that really prove now that we see it works with VCX SRV as long as NX is not involved?
That VCXF could still be broken somehow.
Yes, but the thing is, if we report this to upstream, to VCX SRV, they will not use X2Go client to test this. They will want to have it broken down to a simple reproducible error, and we can't do that because they will just say, hey, we're using SSH and it just works fine for us. What's your problem?
I know, but I'd still like to know whether it's happening with mobile exterm when started through X2Go client. And I have no idea how to start mobile exterm with X2Go client. What the parameters are and stuff like that.
Okay, Uli asks about how old our new X2Go agent is in our setup.
Old.
So even in the nightly builds, we're using an old X2Go agent.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, it's a bit older. Yeah. I'll
So
update
you're
it
probably...
at some point in time.
Pardon?
But I'll update it at some point in time. But yeah, for now, I mean, the release version is even older. The nightly version is a bit
So,
newer, but not by much.
so maybe because I have like half an hour left for trying out things, and I don't see how
Mhm.
that would really help now. Maybe you should look into getting a newer NX version, like from
Mm,
Arctica into X2Go tonight.
yeah, that no, we built our NX stuff ourselves, and again, that would require work in order to make it release ready, or so only for the nightly builds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would still require me to fix the Jenkins stuff first, because obviously I can't start builds now.
Okay.
If
So
they're broken.
plan, fix Jenkins,
Yeah,
and then look
but
at the NX library stuff for the nightly builds.
I don't even know how to
Unless...
fix Jenkins.
Crap.
Oh shoot. Uh-oh. Well, we have been
Oh.
streaming. That's good. But the screensaver went on, so and it's failing.
Do you have any idea when that happened?
Well, probably like an hour ago. But
Okay,
anyway,
so we do have Alex talk in full.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
anyways, I will stop my recording now for a moment and
mhm.
restart it. So that way we have one file that definitely contains Alex recording.
Or wait, no, maybe no. Wait, the no. I haven't used full X server capture. I've used only a window capture. So let me check. Let me check this. Because I can just go to the YouTube stream.
Yeah, but can you rewind in a live stream?
Yeah, that's working. That's working.
Okay.
Oh, fire hydrants. Yes, I'm not a robot. Let me in, please. Tractors. Okay. No, this is the wrong Stefan Bauer. This is Stefan Bauer. Stefan Bauer super hits.
Mihai, what are you doing?
Yeah. I've just searched for Stefan Bauer YouTube, and
Why
it's not
don't you
showing.
just go to our wiki page and click on the streaming link?
Because the streaming link is not in there for Thursday at least. So I'd have to
Huh?
take
I just put it in there.
to watch via YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that you updated every single time. Yeah, okay, so that works. Let me.
Okay. It looks like
Yeah,
we have Alex talk
yeah.
completely in there. Okay, at
No,
least
we
one.
have everything in there. We have everything in there. It because I don't do a full full screen capture. I only capture the
Okay.
browser.
Anyway, we're
It,
good.
yeah.
We're good. So you need to get Jenkins fixed somehow.
Yeah, I probably will have to rework all builds we have on Jenk. I mean, all definition of builds in order for this to work. And I'm not sure that I want to do this because that would make it less flexible. I couldn't just spawn a new build for a specific version of a distro that for instance, failed, I'd have to restart the whole build for everything. But this is something that I would have liked to talk to Mike about, because he is using this configuration matrix feature for Arctica, but I don't have access to his Jenkins instance, so I couldn't even try to click around and start builds manually.
Okay, so basically you would need access to his instance to clone/copy the setup.
Yeah, I just look at it. I wouldn't touch it. I just like to see how he set it up and how it's working for him. Because if it's the way that I think that it works, then this is also not the ideal solution for the problem. And then I'm pretty much out of ideas, because it's not fixable with what Jenkins actually provides. I'd have to ask the Jenkins developers directly.
Okay, so basically we are stuck at, you need to get Jenkins fixed somehow, and you probably won't be able to do that tonight. And before Jenkins is, or unless Jenkins is fixed, there's no chance to work on KDrive or on the NX Lib for Holger.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, I could just revert it to the version we've had before, with the current date in the version strings. That would work. It would have the same caveat that I've been looking at. I've been looking out for every single day, essentially, that I don't push before the day changes. At least when I know that the builds will take longer to finish than the deadline. But it would fix the PPC 64 builds as well. So that is one possibility, and that is very easy to do, or at least not very. That wouldn't take a long time. Fixing it correctly, well, I don't know if I can do this really, because Jenkins is not up to the task, I figure.
Okay, I just pinged Mike via Telegram once more, told him that you have a question regarding Jenkins, and asked him if he might be able to help you either before or after tomorrow's event. So maybe you could show up a little early or a little late, or stay a little longer, depending on what he says, what suits him best.
If he's not asleep by now, but probably not.
Telegram has a presence indicator, and it said that it last saw him 1 minute ago when I typed. So I would hope that it wasn't the last minute before he went to bed. Anyway, I don't believe we'll get a reply to this, or at least a meaningful reply to your question regarding Jenkins tonight. I have one thing to try for Yui. That has to do with the Raspberry Pi. He wanted me to try booting it over the network, and he sent me a special URL. And I just need to go back to my inbox.
A very special URL.
Yeah, the first one he sent me was with HTTPS. And that was a really, really bad idea, because the first attempt failed because it said that
certificate.
Because the certificate doesn't match, because his server is some kind of multi-hosting blah, and it's not using the proper certificate for this name. So I had to download it on onto one of my machines and then spawn an HTTP server there and change the URL to point at this file, and it still didn't work. And he said it's because the initial RAM disk path was wrong. And now he claims he fixed it, and he also switched it to HTTP mode. So I should be able to boot it. And let's see what happens. HDMI. F1 for a shell. No, that's not the shell I want. These are not the shells we are wanting. Which key was it? Because this is basically iPXE for the Raspberry Pi. And I somehow need to get into this menu. This is HCP. Okay. I have the HCP address. Now chain. What's the address? String dot. Okay, it's loading the Linux kernel, it seems. And an initial RAM disk. I wonder where this takes us. Okay, it's booting something. And it's indeed trying to netboot the file system squash FS. It's loading it. Okay, that's going to take another 3 to 4 minutes, I guess. Okay, Mike just replied he would be able to stay for a few minutes after the assembly tomorrow. So that's where you could ask him your Jenkins question.
Oh, a problem occurred while processing. I've been locked out again. No, Jenkins, why? Locked out. Should have worked.
Okay, you just couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
So
You're out.
Yuri's image works
Mm-hmm.
to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
It does boot up into graphical mode. I can see X2Go client in full screen,
Mhm.
but it has window decorations, which we usually don't have in full screen. And it's FWM based. So you have this really,
Because
really
that's what
funky
he
window
always
decoration.
uses. Yeah.
Yes. And of course, it's also not in no edit mode and everything. So I could edit session settings and X2Go client settings. And it has this black border around the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that needs to be disabled as well. This is this overscan underscan setting that the Pi series have, because they're usually running on TVs which have this stupid overscan setting.
Yeah.
Even
But
though they're now all digital displays where it wouldn't be necessary, but okay, so that works.
but you can usually disable it
On
on most.
Raspbian or Raspberry Pi OS,
Mm.
it's easy to do. There's a tool for it even. And it also works via config file if you know which parameters to put where. For X2Go client or for X2Go Thin Client Edition, it's probably a bit more hairy. You probably have to manually patch that file or copy it into the directory before the squashfs is built or whatever, or put it in the init.rd. I'm not sure. Oh, no, you probably have to wait. Oh,
Oh.
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 Like my builds are images that you write onto a USB or SD card, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So they are basically a disk image. A
Mm-hmm.
disk image with a RAM disk, with a kernel, an initial RAM disk, and a squashfs. But also with all the other required files. Those config files and what are they called? There's these overlays. And Yuri only boots the kernel, init.rd, and the squashfs. So I wonder where he puts all those other files. Maybe he can't put them anywhere. That's going to be a really tricky question. Okay. Anyway, we're approaching 2300 once more. I need to take my contact lenses out. If there's anything useful that you can still do on your own tonight, do so. If not, I'd say let's call it a day for today and finish recording, finish streaming, and postpone everything until tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. I'm just still working on Jenkins and trying some stuff.
Okay, so anyways, I'll stop the recording because probably I don't know, is Vadim still listening in?
I don't know.
Doesn't seem like it, huh? Does it? I shall grant you moderator rights.
Okay, so should I kick Vadim out once we stop doing stuff? Because if he
For tomorrow, we'll be using a different room once again, I guess.
okay.
Because I put the link at the bottom of the page for the Orca members. I don't expect them to scroll up again. And we'll have an Orca meeting room. And so it's up to you. You can kick him out or just park him in here. I'm out. Recorder has stopped. It's up to you if you want to keep streaming and use a Jitsi session as your debugging rubber ducky, or if you just want to go on coding and debugging on your own. All up to you. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye bye. Okay, save. Okay. Okay, that works. Strange was to bullseye.